The older people who you know, they're retired and beyond retirement age, who are living isolated without any hobbies, without any social activities, and they're becoming fearful and anxious and depressed, that's a sign of brain impairment. And I want to talk about that in this episode. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and this is Brain Snob, episode 48, and I'm glad you're here. I want to talk about brain performance because that is what will change the world. A burdened brain is a disease magnet, and we need everybody participating fully in the world. And we need you. We need you as well. But when I'm talking to people and the friends of friends, and they're dealing with a parent who is going through that slow decline, or a sibling is taking care of another sibling, they're noting that it's getting kind of difficult to even get this person to understand that they are in the slow decline. And I don't know if that's the point of no return. I'd like to get everybody at the state of prevention where we don't see this happening. But the brain impairment, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the isolation, staying home all the time, having no hobbies? Or why do we lose interest in our hobbies? Why do we transition to this slow down life? I don't want to reach that point, and I'm thinking about it now. And what can I do now to prevent that? But what can we do for our family members who might be at that point right now? Because it is challenging. It's sad to watch. The brain is impaired, and I see that mentally and emotionally when people don't have a zest for life anymore. And that's what I call a meaningful purpose. You have to maintain your meaningful purpose, even if you're retired from your job, even if your kids have grown up and left the nest and have even moved away. There has to be a meaningful purpose in your life. Otherwise, your brain just reaches that point of slow down. And some of it is related to brain health and lifestyle health and what's been going on in your life the last 10 to 20 years. So that's why I focus on Brain First Always, the BFA protocol, where we move the brain, feed the brain, and talk to the brain. While I'm not going to get into all the details in that, I just want to highlight the importance of keeping the brain vibrant, keeping the brain busy. And that means busy with creative things that bring you purpose. Not so much the stressful things that are going to bring you down and drag you down and add more inflammation to your life, because that's going to cause cellular damage. And when you have that cellular damage, the brain is not as effective as it could be. The brain is going to be impaired. So for the folks who are trying to be caregivers and helping their family members, do this for yourself. Follow the BFA protocol. And if you can encompass some of the BFA protocol to your loved ones, that would be effective. There's a lot of things that can be done without being specifically targeting any one thing. We have to focus on how we are taking care of the brain. A lot of it is inflammation. If there's one word you want to keep in your head, that's inflammation. And inflammation comes from old injuries that didn't heal well. Inflammation comes from deficiencies in your diet, and we can easily replenish those deficiencies in your diet. And inflammation is also caused by a poor detoxification process in the body, allowing toxins to build up. So the cycle continues. The inflammation is always going to be there because of these insults to the body. And what's happening to the body is mirrored by the brain, and so forth. So if the brain isn't working, the body isn't going to work either. So I focus on the brain because it is the master system of the body. What you do for the brain is actually going to help the rest of the body. So I drive people kind of crazy because they're focusing on their low back, their painful knee, or their lack of energy, or their digestive distress. And all I say is, let's go to the brain. Because there is that trickle-down effect. I know people didn't like that during the Reagan era when we said, oh, it's trickle-down economics. But I'm going to call it the domino effect. What's good in your brain is going to be good for the rest of your body. So that's why I'm a brain snob, and I want you to be a brain snob, because it's not an insult. It is a high compliment. It means you know enough about the brain to give yourself great and amazing experiences. Get that brain performing, because the performing brain is what will change the world. And I look forward to you at episode 49 when I make it. But I want you to remember, meaningful purpose is a very important part of health. And I can't tell you what your meaningful purpose is. You've got to decide that for yourself, and you've got to nurture that. You've got to cultivate it like a garden, and water it, and keep the soil healthy, and just let the plants grow. That's your meaningful purpose in action, watching those plants grow. Whatever it is in your life, you've got to make that interpretation for yourself. But I look forward to seeing you at the next video, and I want you to have a great day. Thanks.